Okay, we're going to do some practice questions from all the way from level 5 to level 1 for the flag tests that we take. And these are some example questions that have recently come up on like the Instagram of the governing body for these tests. So they should give you a pretty good idea of what kind of questions would be asked on this test. So just a quick recap for anyone who hasn't been watching the social study videos. Level 4 or level 5 and 4 in these flag tests are only multiple choice questions, and you need only 70% to pass. Level 5 and 4. Level 3, you need 75% to pass, and there are some written questions. I think maybe 20% written questions or something. Level 2, you need 80% to pass, and it's something like 30% or more written questions. And then level 1 is 50% written questions, and the amount of questions on level 1 is 100 questions, where level 2 is 80, level 3 is 60 questions, I think. Level 4 is 50 questions, level 5 is 40 questions. Um, so, yeah, it's increasingly gets hard as the you get to the higher levels. So let's start with level 5 here. What we have, so the example question, which of these flags is Spain? So this is very easy. Hopefully we know what Spain is. So at the level 5, they're asking us, I think, mostly, countries that people recognize in general. Like, if you've never studied flags, but you've like watched TV or something, you've probably seen like the Spanish flag and maybe the Mexico flag, possibly these others too. So next, another level 5 question. On the Canadian flag, what is the red leaf that is drawn on there? So this one, you probably know that it's not the sakura, and I'm not even sure what these other two would be called in English, but the kaede is the maple leaf, and I think anybody who's bought maple syrup was familiar with the maple leaf, and there's a lot of maple syrup in Canada apparently. So next we go to level 4 question. So level 4, again, multiple choice. Antigua Barbuda they want us to find here. So these, compared to the previous ones, these are, I would say, less well-known countries, but still the same general idea here. So that would be number 2, Antigua Barbuda. And then another question example from level 4. What country's flag has just 2 colors, which are blue and yellow? And this one has 3 colors. This one's colors are not blue or yellow. And this one's colors also aren't blue or yellow, so it would be the Ukraine. And, that showed up in a lot of people's social medias or whatever, not some years back. So my son would have been too young to really see that, but he had remembered the flag. So, at level 4, this was still a pretty easy question. All right, let's go to the next, another level 4 question. So on the social media of this governing body recently, they have gotten sort of playing off the World Cup, and the World Cup has a lot of flags going on, so they mention the World Cup as they ask these sample questions. So level 4 question, the Netherlands flag, the top bar is red, but it was not red when it was originally made. So what color was it before? Is it yellow, purple, orange, or green? And it was orange, I believe. So it's kind of a tough question because I think a lot of people just would not know that. And I'm not actually 100% confident that that's right, but I'm pretty sure. I'm absolutely sure it's not purple due to purple being so rare at the time. Maybe yellow, but I'm pretty sure it's orange. So And this is kind of funny how they wrote on the social media. So answer one, answer two, answer C, answer D. I think that's just a mistake on the questions here. So it would be orange. No, still not too tough. So level 3, we're on level 3 now. Um, so the Iran flag, the green at the bottom of the green strip and the top of the red strip, there's something written 11 times in Persian. So I think 11 times here and 11 times here. And they want you to write out what it is in Japanese. So this is like an example of a written question. And on the level 3, I'm not sure if they actually show you the flag when they ask you these questions. I know on the level 2, they did not uh, show the flag when they had similar questions. So I think just for social media, they had the image here that might not actually be on the test like this. So it might just be the question part down here, and that's all. So and I guess it might not help if you can't read Persian at all, but just for some other similar questions, it will be the same situation where I don't think they'll have the flag up there for you. So I believe this is something along the lines of like God is great or Allah is the one God or something like that. Depending on which of those I would write if it was a test, it might not be correct. I'd probably just like write in Japanese or something as God is great. So I think that is the basic concept of what's written. Again, I don't read Persian at all, so uh, maybe in the future I can read some. I don't know, but we'll see. Next, we have the Brazil flag. So they're saying, what is the Ordem e Progresso? I don't know if that's anywhere near the correct pronunciation, but it's written in within the strip on the blue part on the blue circle sphere in the flag. And what does this mean in Japanese? So that would be order and progress. So like Chitsujo to Shinchoku, I guess. Um, would probably be the answer. This is another like completely written one. It looks like they have the text in the question down here, so I don't think it would make much of a difference if they had the image of the flag or not on this particular one. Okay, next, a little bit of a blurry image, but some more level 3 sample questions. We might have actually looked at this one when we were doing the original introduction of this type of test. So in 1959, Alaska became an American state, and the star flag, they added a star to the flag. And how long did this version of the flag last? They're asking. So was it, and this is multiple choice, 1, 3, 5, or 7 years. And I remember a similar question actually coming up on one of the tests that we took. And I know in 1959, Alaska became the 49th state. And I think less than a year later, in 1960, it was Hawaii that became the 50th state. So that would be, I guess, 1 year is the closest answer anyway. So 1. And then some written questions. These kind of written questions are good because they're not so difficult. Just the only problem is they take time to write out sometimes. So just write out what the country these flags are: Sri Lanka, India, and Mongolia. You write out at the bottom here. So pretty easy for level 3. Now we're on to level 2. Okay, and I'm pretty sure for level 2, yeah, they're asking us another what is written on the flag. So I'm pretty sure on level 2, I think we actually had this same question or a similar question anyway on level 2, but they're asking what is written on the San Marino flag, and they did not have the flag on the test that I took anyway, like the actual image of it, because for San Marino, I definitely remember like the 3 castles. I kind of remember like some kind of crown, and I know there's 2 different plants that that the sides there, but I don't think I even remembered. Hey, there was something even written there. I mean, that's not like the main focus that comes to mind when uh, when I see the flag. So, write out in Japanese what in Japanese it would be written in Italian. Um, and if you could see the flag, that would probably be easy. It looks like something along the lines of liberty. So that would be just, freedom, GU, and not be too hard. But if you can't see the flag, which I think was the case, that's actually pretty tough because it's a lot of the times. Same with the Brazil flag. If I didn't see it, I might not remember anything was written on it at all because, like, let's just go back for a minute. Look at the Brazil flag here. I think there was a question about the Southern Cross on flags, and if you look at this Brazil, the Southern Cross is flipped from how it appears on all other flags like Papua New Guinea or Australia or whatever. It's the opposite direction. And this is like because when I think Brazil was founded, or at least when they made the flag, um, the night sky would have looked something like this. Is what they looked at, and they put these 27, 26, 27, I think, stars. I gotta count that on the flag for that purpose. So, yeah. All right. And just a note San Marino. This is actually one of the only three countries in the world that is completely inside of another country. So the country does not border anything else. Um, it doesn't border, another country besides the country it's inside, and it doesn't border a large body of water or anything. So, of course, I think the one that comes to mind most easily would be the Vatican, which is in Italy. And the second one, also in Italy, is actually San Marino. And the third one would be Lesotho in South Africa. So those are the only three. Um, Monaco looks like it's been eaten up by France, but not entirely. So next question, we have the French flag. This is a level 2 question again. Um, this one, it's multiple choice, but a lot of people got it wrong, and this actually appeared on our test too. When my son and I took this, I think we got it wrong too. I have a French friend that I asked this question to. He got it no problem. So I assume people in France have no trouble with this. But the question is anyway: at the start of the French Revolution, who was involved in the design for the three-colored French flag of these people? And it's Louis the 16th, General Lafayette, Napoleon, or Robespierre. And, and I'm probably pronouncing those pretty bad, but and for I think at least us in Japan, if we hear the French Revolution, Napoleon is the name that comes to mind. I kind of thought that that's the obvious answer is probably wrong, but I didn't know this one. My son also didn't know this one, so I think we got it wrong. But the answer was General Lafayette, apparently. So again, this is even the multiple choice questions. So when you get to level 2, I think are quite difficult because this one may be people familiar with French history and French flags are have no problem with this, but I have never been to France, so and I haven't really studied extensively any French history, so this one is quite tough for us. Right, next we have yet another level 2 question. So the Philippine flag was actually cut off in the screenshot I took here. Sorry about that. Which looks like it's going to be bad for this question because they say they're in the triangle up here. So there's 3 stars, and these stars each symbolize an important area of the Philippines. And one of them is Luzon Island, I might be pronouncing these completely incorrect as well. Another is Bisaya Islands. And what is the last one? So then this is multiple choice, but um, just like the previous one, I'm not really familiar with the islands of the Philippines or the areas of the Philippines. Um, Probably barely know the capital, but here in I do like the flag though. It's quite a nice flag. I think this one you're not supposed to fly upside down except in war times or something about that as well. Anyway, I think that it would be Mindanao Island here, but I'm not 100% sure. So, with these multiple choice ones, even if you have even if you think maybe it's this, they can mess with your confidence that way. All right. Yet another level 2 question. Okay. Uh what is drawn on the Dominican flag? And again, I don't think that they had the image of the flag on the actual test. And just as a side note, this is one of the only flags that has purple in it. There's, I think, two maybe. The only other one I can think of would be like a little bit of purple in the rainbow in Nicaragua. But here in Dominica, this is the most purple. And the reason for that is because purple ink was super expensive. So it's the same reason, like only royalty in many countries, including Japan, would wear purple would be the like most royal color because the ink for purple was so expensive that nobody else could really wear purple whether they wanted to or not, right? So the question, what is drawn on the flag? And I don't think they give you a picture for the test either. I don't remember if we got this one or not, this question, but this is a written question, so that's all they ask. And I guess it would be like what animal is drawn on the flag is probably how they'd ask it. It looks they don't specify here, so I don't know if you said some lines or something. But they have a note here, and I don't think they had the note on the actual test, but they say if you write bird or parrot, this is incorrect. So you need to be more specific to what type of bird it is. And if I remember correctly, I think I know the Japanese name for this bird, something like Mikado Boshi Inko, I think. But that also might not be correct. I have no idea what it's called in English. So please let me know in the comments what its English name is if you know. But just, this is a written question and it is, I would say, quite difficult. Like, this is level 2 written question, right? We did pass level 2, my son and I, but, this is pretty tough, I think, because just in general, if you were to ask a random person, assuming someone who doesn't live in the Dominican area, um, what animals written drawn on the flag, they'd be like, well, I have no idea. I think most people wouldn't even know anything about the country, perhaps. I don't think it's one of those the countries that or the flags at least that appears in a lot of media, so quite a tough one, I think. And we have just a couple more level 2 questions. So what's um small there's a short dagger called a dagger called the hanjar, which is part of Islamic culture that appears on a flag. So what flag does it appear on? This one's multiple choice. Oman, Pakistan, Bahrain, or Sudan. And this one I think is actually pretty easy because if you can think of what those flags are, there's really only one option, I think. But um, yeah, there should only be the one option in, unless you think that I don't, yeah, I guess it's just the only Oman would be the only option. But every time I see it, and this might sound insensitive or something, but it reminds me of, I think it's because of the colors and the shape, it reminds me of a banana rather than a cultural dagger. So I don't know. Um, yeah, but this one, given if they give you multiple choice like this, and you know what all the flags are, you can picture them. It's not too hard for level two. Next, another level two practice question. What is the official name of the Korean flag? And so the flag's official name, not Korea's official name, I guess, because we actually shorten this a little bit. So that would be and I kind of remember this because the flag itself looks kind of like the sort of yin yang thing, even though it's Korea. And in Japan, we call Tai Chi, the Chinese martial art, we call it Taikyoku-ken. And the flag, the Korean flag, is the Taikyoku-ki. So ki is flag, and Taikyoku is the same as um, the Tai Chi word. So that would be the name. Um, but on the test, even and this is a written question, but on the test, if that didn't come to mind immediately, I might just be like, okay, I don't think I'm getting this one. All right. So now we have a level one question here. Very tough. There are 100 questions and 50 of them are written questions. So that's that's hard. Let's see what kind of questions we get. Okay, the Southern Cross. So the constellation would be, or the star formation. The Southern Cross is on several flags. Uh, oh, this I think I mentioned this earlier. Uh, I didn't realize it was going to be up here. But what flag is it inverted? The inverted horizontally. So and it's multiple choice: Australia, Samoa, Papua New Guinea, or Brazil. And we can go back up, take a look at Brazil. There it is. It's inverted. I don't think we have a Australian flag here to compare, but we can take a look at the Australian flag and see it's inverted from the other ones. And then we have a written question. Let me check. Okay, so there is a country, a very dry country. You don't get a lot of rain, and they pray for rain, I guess, or ask for rain. On their flag, they're symbolizing this on their flag. What country symbolizes the want for rain on their flag? And I actually know this. I don't remember why I know this. I think it was one of my study questions that actually came up, but would be Botswana. Um, the blue on the flag, I guess, is for the hope for water because they don't get a lot of it. Botswana is almost entirely in another country as well. I think almost. So that one, it doesn't feel nearly as hard because for whatever reason I already knew it. But it's kind of like a very uh, feels like a niche sort of question that comes up there. All right. Here another level one. The Sweden flag. What does the yellow Nordic cross symbolize, or what is it? Yeah, what is it historically most related to? And this is a multiple choice one. So they give you a few things, and I think it would be just number one here. I'm not going to go into all the details of why I do not believe it would be any of the others, but the number one is like the what would you call the authority of the royal house, or the royal authority, basically. Pretty sure that is it. So that doesn't feel like it's too hard of a question. But again, it's hard to be sure. Um, what it is unless you know. It's very specific, I think. But, Sweden royal family, kind of famous. I mean, to the point where a lot of people might know that they have royalty there. Maybe not. I don't know, but that's what it symbolizes, I believe. Another level 1 question. This one is also multiple choice, so they're giving us some multiple choice. So the Tunisia flag here, the 5-pointed star in the middle. What is the general consensus of what this means? And multiple choice, the 5 major cities or the 5 major groups of people, or the 5 what are these practices of Islam, or the 5 times that they had independent wars for independence. So I don't know a lot about the history of Tunisia, but I generally assume with the Islamic-based countries that if they have 5 stars, it would be the 5 practices of Islam in this case. And I think that's the answer, but I'm not sure. So again, if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments after you've liked and subscribed. So this is another multiple choice level 1 question. Let's look the last one here. This is the last practice question we've got here. So the what do you call it? I guess coat of arms. The horse in it. There's a horse in the coat of arms that looked like it was like looking the wrong way or a weird way. So they redesigned it to look forwards. And I think this actually happened not too long ago. I didn't know the answer to this one, as in when I saw this post. I mean, I guessed based on the image that they shared, but I'm almost certain that they would not have this image on the actual test, because this part over here kind of gives away the answer if you take a look, the coat of arms. But if it was just like, oh, there's a horse that was looking like it was at a weird angle and they had to fix it, what country is this? I would have had no clue. And this is not even a multiple choice. This is a written answer. So actually, if they had this image, they actually have the answer over here too. So Venezuela is the answer. So again, I am almost absolutely certain that they did not have this image in the actual question. But yeah, the horse looking away that they redesigned so it looks like it's running forward properly was Venezuela. This was like something like 20 years ago or something from when I'm recording this video that they did that, because I looked it up, because before seeing this question, I don't think I knew that. So that is a level 1 question. And if we imagine that we did not have this image here, like I said, we had none of this image, and they just asked, okay, there's a coat of arms with a horse looking a weird way, and it had to be redesigned so it was running forward. What country is this? I probably would have got it wrong. I'd have like a one in 190 something chance of getting that right, just out of naming a random country. Anyway, as you can see, the level 2 and level 1 questions can get quite difficult. We have not taken the level 1 yet, my son and I. And just in case you haven't watched the other videos, this is a series of tests that we're taking with my son, who's 6 years old at the time, or right now. And we have got the levels 5, 4, 3, 2, and we might go for the 1, but 50 written questions and 50 multiple choice questions and you got, I think, 50 minutes to do the test. It might be tough at that age, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll try and study this stuff a little bit more together. I just want to show everyone like what kind of questions you would get on these tests, on these flag tests here. And this is, by the way, these are different from the flag and geography and the flag and people, famous people tests, which are by the same governing body. And those ones we haven't taken yet. But these flag tests, yeah, they are quite. They're kind of fun, I think, and a lot of like knowing what country redesigned the way a horse looks might not be the most vital information that you can have in your knowledge, but being able to easily name all the flags of the world, and if you see them, you know where it is. You have some idea about the culture of each country. Just even a vague idea, I think, just really is important thing to have. So, like something around a level 3 level of knowledge where you can see these flags. Okay, I know what these are. Uh, Something like that be, I'd say, a good level of flag knowledge for the average person who just wants, overall intelligence of many things, knowledge of many things. So that is that. Remember to like, subscribe, and like some more, and level up.